Well, hey everyone, Grayson here from Wildwood Honeybee Farms, and today we are going to be talking about should you make a weak or a strong split, and what's the difference between the both, and why would you want to make a smaller split over than a stronger split, weak or strong split over that. And we have a strong, very strong split. It's like 4 or 5 frames of bees. It's packed full. And then we have one right there, and it only has maybe like a frame of bees in there. It looks really weak, but it's enough so then the virgin queen can get mated. And I want to talk about weak splits and why you should or shouldn't make them, and what's the difference, and why I like a weak split over a strong split or a strong split over a weak split. There's differences, but I want to note one. The main difference is if you do a 1 or 2 frame split, you get more splits out of it. But if you do a 5 frame split, you have a very strong split from the get-go. So then once it gets a mated queen, you can automatically go ahead and transfer them to a 10 frame box. But if you have a 2 frame split, once they get that mated queen, they have to build up. So it'll take them about a month to grow into that full 5 frame nuke box. Then that's whenever you can move them. But there's a lot of differences. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's go ahead and get into the halves, and I'll show you some of our splits that we made, and let's determine what's better, a weak or a strong split. So let's start out with the strong split, and everything's wet right now since it just rained. So I'm expecting a lot of bees in here, and I'm expecting these bees aren't really going to be too happy. And this hive right here is the next one we're going to be getting into. But as you can see, fellas, this hive is really strong. It has a lot of bees, and the reason why you'd want to use a strong split and make a strong split is you got a lot more bees, and it is ready quicker than a weaker split. That's the main reason. And a weaker split, really, a lot of times people will think that a weaker split doesn't make the best queens, but really, they really do. They both make good queens. And if you're introducing cells, I mean, you don't gotta worry about a weak split. I like to make weak splits. I make a lot of weak splits. And as you can see, there are a lot of bees in here. And we got a lot of royal jelly. And this is just the start of it. There's a lot more foragers coming back in, so. And this hive does not have a queen yet. They have cells. I think they might have hatched. But look at that. That's a good little frame over here. And this hive right here only has maybe a frame of maybe little stuff, not much. And the reason why I really wanted to do this video is because I hear a lot about making stronger or weaker splits, and I want to talk about it. And this ain't really would you rather, or difference in verses, or whatever you want to call it. This is really me explaining to you why I use each one. And I just want to show you what they both look like. And there you go. We got some cells here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 cells right there, and the bees are flying around me. They're not really stinging, and that's just a great frame of brood. They have about at least 3 frames of brood maybe in here, maybe even more. Let me set this one down. Set this one aside. And I also wanted to say that this is one of our nukes that we build. We build a lot of nukes sometimes so we can have nukes to work with. And that's how we build them. And at some point we'll show you how we build them. And another good frame right there, that's honey. They got some good stores. And a lot of these young bees hatch, but there's a lot of the older bees still going to return, so we still got to wait for them. So, this hive has about 2 frames of brood, and all the others full of bees. And we're about to get to the best part of this hive, because this is where all the hatching brood is. We got queen cells in here. This is a really strong split, and look at all these bees, and look at that big old frame of brood. This is what a strong split would look like. Of course, it ain't the biggest hive, but it is full of bees, and that's the main thing about it. And we got a lot of hatching brood, and that's going good. We got queen cells. That's all you need in a split. And I generally like to make my splits about a 2 frame or a 3 frame split, but I do want to make some 1 frame splits. Alright, let's go ahead and put this hive up. Let's get into this hive, and I want to show you how small it is. But you really only need a one frame of bees to make you a really good queen, you know. So let's go ahead and get into that hive now. Alright, this is the smaller split I've been telling y'all about, and as y'all can see already, that there's only one frame of bees in here. And all the others are not full of bees, but what I'm intending to do here is with this small split, they are going to raise their queen. Last time I checked, we have a virgin in here. And what they're going to do, they're going to raise that queen, get her mated, and they're going to grow. And we got one frame of bees in here, maybe 2 frames of bees, but really small nuke. And somewhere in here we have a virgin queen, and I really don't know where. We are really not looking for her at right this moment. We're just showing y'all kind of what's going on in here. And as you can see, there aren't as many bees as in the other hive. There's probably 2 times smaller than that hive, and which is fine. I really like to make my splits like this, but sometimes I'll go ahead and make them pretty strong. And it really depends on what time of the year you're in. You know, I want to say that right now. If you are in, let's say, early spring, make a stronger split for sure. But if you're in summer, early summer, where you have a lot of warm temperatures, you can make yourself a split. And we have some bees on here, but really not much. So with all the bees here, I'm averaging this hive as 2 frames or 1 frame full of bees, and that's about it. And the thing about it is that down here in the south, I want to say this clear off the get-go, that down south we can make really not strong splits. And look there, we got our virgin queen. We got a queen right here. You see her right there? That's the virgin. I can just tell by her abdomen. She's a little virgin, and I want to go ahead and put her up. I don't really like to mess with these virgins while they're in here. Let's go and put them back up. But this is what a small and a strong split, the difference between the, at least the looks. And before we end the video, these bees aren't really happy. Why would you want to make a small split or a strong split? The stronger splits, you probably really want those to be the ones that you're going to sell. For me, like, this split over here is average. This is probably going to be a split that I keep. They have cells. I have another split that I made that I'm going to sell to a friend, like I said in the videos past. But the thing about it is, if you're going to be making it like me, I'm keeping most of them, I'll go ahead and make a bunch of 1 frame splits. So if I have like a double deep hive, I'll probably go ahead and make 10 hives out of that. And that's really what I really like to do. And we have a bee on top of the camera right now. I want to mention trying to sting the camera. I have a lot of issues with that. A lot of noise behind there. I just found that kind of interesting that a bee would sting the camera, but their stinger can't really get through the plastics on that camera. But anyway, that's really all for this video. I just want to kind of go through with you why I think, what I do, what I like to do. And I want to go ahead and say again that this isn't a how-to. This is just what I like to do. I really like to make small frame splits, but at the same time, making a strong split is just as good as a small split, and a small split will still make a good queen. That's all you need right here. So, before we end off, I do want to mention one more thing. A good tip, if you're going to do let's just say you're going to try to make a hive to get a mated queen back, I would just do 1 frame or less of bees. Why? Because if you're going to do like a mini mating nuke, you really don't need many bees for that queen to come back mated. But one of these, this hive right here would be a good mating hive. And, you know, they're doing good, they're doing fine. They're a little smaller, but overall they're doing fine. But if you guys enjoyed, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. It helps me a lot. And if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys on the next beekeeping video.